Not much has changed probably since Saturday, but an injury update.
Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot's changed. Just trying to think. Same situation with Ethan from last week. Same situation with Jack Moylan. Oshin obviously long term as well. Freddie ready to go for 30 minutes. So we're pretty much how we were last week.
And just on Oshin, is he back with the club training? Obviously, we know. Well, recovering.
Recovering, yeah. He's in rehab. He's back with the club. Yeah, full time with the club. He's not with Boston where he was. So.
Okay. Just obviously the big incident from the weekend was the red card for Pordy. Has the club discussed appealing that?
Yeah, we've appealed it. We're waiting to hear back. Should be back at 6 p.m. tonight. And the result of that, I thought it was. It wasn't a red card. I've looked at it back. I thought live on the day, it didn't look like he was malicious. It looked more like he was trying to keep the ball in out of desperation, really. So we didn't lose more time on the clock trying to chase it. So, but we'll see. We'll wait to see on that.
That'll have an impact, obviously, I imagine, on the starting 11 tomorrow. I imagine if it's appealed successfully, it'll be in the 11s. How do you approach that?
Well, we have to just plan without him, really. I think I'm planning without him, ready for tomorrow, because... you have to, because I think it's, even if we get it tomorrow, he'll miss training today in terms of being with the team. So we have to plan with that. He's obviously trained, but I mean, in terms of the tactical plan, you can't have him in there. So we'll plan without him tomorrow, and then we'll go from there.
Looking at the situation up front, obviously we know Jovan McCarthy's been relatively free scoring in recent times, but the decision to start Ben House over James Collins, what led to that choice?
Part of it is I'm looking at things. I know Colo's a goal scorer. I'm looking at things as well for next season. Ben House, I wanted to see him in our 4-2-3-1 as a 9 rather than as an 8 and a 10 and as 2 9s. So I wanted to see how he coped with going against a very good team as the 9 as well. So like little things that we're trying to learn and grow. And Colo's gone. We'll go, and it's also Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So it's giving him a little bit of a breather and getting him at home.
Is it looking at trying to find those best positions for the players? Because obviously no one expected Jovan McCarthy to really excel on the right side. So is it about finding those hidden positions almost that suits the players? Yeah,
I think we know what their profile and what their best attributes are. I think it's more so like the opposition can make the context of the game. So I think sometimes it's not as clear as just putting some magnets on a board and putting people there and that's it. And sometimes it is as clear as that. So we're just trying to get the best profiles for the best situations. In the end, we thought, that was interesting because they came with a back 3, which was, they've done that a couple of times this season away at Rotherham, but they haven't done that at all really as Wycombe. They've always been 4-2-3-1, so they defended very well. I thought on the day it was a 0-0 game for me. We did all right with the ball up until a point. We didn't really have a threat. We didn't create enough, but I didn't feel threatened by them either so much. We kept, Tom and Pordy kept Kone very quiet for most of the game, and then a big moment. And unfortunately, this season probably a couple of times we've lost out on moments, and it was another moment where it's 1-0 and then we're chasing.
Darren mentioned the word transfers. This part of the season you've said on numerous times is about finding what works almost for next season. Is it a chance to narrow down the type of targets that you want to chase in the summer? Yeah,
it's all part of the jigsaw puzzle. It's all part of what we're trying to build for next season. It's all part of what we've got in the building now. It's all looking at who we've got in the building and what we think they can do. And as you know, contract situations and, options on players, that we have. So it's all those different scenarios that we have. And like I said to the players and I've said to everybody else, there's always something to play for in football. There's always something to play for because it's professional football. It's never, even if they don't end up here, another club will be looking at them. So it's like everybody's got everything to play for. 3 points is really important. And even though we make slight changes in the game, we went out to win the game and we didn't win the game because we didn't have enough threat. We're definitely looking at the options as well and trying to build into next season now that we think we're safe.
Obviously looking at tomorrow night, Tuesday night, the return of Joe Taylor and Lasse Sorensen to the LNER. Are you looking forward to seeing their faces again?
Yeah, I am. I think, hopefully I know the Lincoln fans will give them a warm welcome for the start, but then after that we have to make sure they don't have good games if they're playing. But, I think both of those players, especially Lasse, was a superb, servant to the club in the time he was here, and even my short time, his energy and his desire and his commitment to the club was brilliant. He's obviously gone out there and he's probably wanting to do better than he's doing. And then Joe Taylor, obviously, we know what he can do and the threats he brings, and he's getting back going. I think he's sort of 60 minutes here and there, but we know the threat he brings, which is going to be a tough day for our centre-halves if he's on it, but we also know their weaknesses. So we know what they're not so good at, which is great because we know them really well. But yeah, it'd be good to see them, but hopefully we get the 3 points and they don't.
And Huddersfield in general, it feels like they're not particularly as high up as they expected this season, but I suppose that's also ammunition for them to get there by the end of the season.
I think it's, another situation with how strong the league is. I think, Huddersfield, big club, come down, good strong budget again, some good players in the squad, but it's the consistency they haven't had. So they didn't start so well. Then they had a great run and they were the informed team, and then they've suddenly dropped off again, and changes have happened. And they even went and beat Crawley 5-1 at home, and then Charlton, who've got that consistency, beat them last week 4-0. So again, I think it's probably shows the strength of the league that a club like Huddersfield can come down and not dominate completely, and now they find themselves probably where they don't want to be. But in the same sense, we're not really worried about what they do. We're not worried about them as a club. We're still trying to build how we build, and we're starting to do what we do.
And a lovely Tuesday night under the LNER lights. You're looking forward to it for, I think it's the last time this season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great, and I think Tuesday night under the lights is fantastic. The weather's good. Hopefully there'll be lots of fans, and we want to just put on a performance that the fans can be proud of, as always, and we want to try and get after the game and try and win the 3 points. And I know that the stadium's usually rocking and loud, and hopefully we can do that against a big, strong Huddersfield crowd. I'm sure they'll bring, because they've got loads of fans that travel within. I think they took 1,600 down to Charlton last week, so I think it's going to be a rocking place.